to have amidst us esteemed colleagues from different parts. I now request founder Dr. Jayanta to have a few words of welcome. Over to Dr. Jayanta.
Good evening, good afternoon to dear participant. Today is very auspicious day. Today is International Children Day, and there is saying that if we plan for 100 years, then we should plan children. And when we talk about rural development, when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about next generation, so we can't avoid children as a whole. So in this regard, because Global Forum for Sustainable Rural Development is always think for future, and that's why it's important how we can think for the protection of different rights for children as per the Convention of Right to Children, and that's why our center today we are going to launch this center focusing mainly on the rural children. Because whenever we talk about the Global Forum for Sustainable Rural Development, we can't ignore the different situation, different condition of rural children. And then this is very significant. And whenever we talk about the different SDGs goal, children are the main two. They are concerned. Their concern is mostly important. Their issues are mostly important, and that's why today we are going to launch the global center. It's a resource center. It's not like any other center. It's a resource center. So physically, this center will be situated in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, so that anybody interested to do some activity, some research, some further study on the different issues related to children, they can visit our physical center, and this center will be dedicated to the global rural children. So objectives and mission vision for this center, it is already in our website, but mainly through the activities, different activities, we are concerned for the different rights of the children, or in other way, how children can be protected, what will be their right that the international arena, whether government, whether non-government organization, whether trade union, whether other agencies, other stakeholders, how they can address the issues of child protection. So with these aims and objectives, we are going to launch a special center, and we are happy that today with us, Dr. Helen Sekhar. Dr. Helen Sekhar, who will be the director of the center. Dr. Helen Sekhar has the long experience as a head of the National Resource Center on Child Labor under Vivigiri National Labor Institute, Ministry of Employment, Labor and Employment, Government of India. And we are happy that Madam will take care of the center. And I'm sure that as GFSRD having other 18 centers, this center will be work together with other centers. Say, for example, we have a center for environment and climate change. If we talk about the vulnerability issues of climate change, the children are the most sufferer. We have a center for skill development and education, then children issues are there. We have center for gender equality, then the gender inequality among the children is mostly important. So all the centers we have a center for peace and culture, where children can be also involved and their culture, how we can portray. So all this way, this center will be linked to all other centers. Jointly we will work And with this, let me stop here. Officially, today is a very important day, and today we are launching this center. Uh, and I am sure that continuously with support from other agencies, other centers, other dignitaries, and resource person in future, we will come out with very meaningful thought, meaningful ideas, meaningful activities. And I'm sure that as this is a resource center, so globally, people will use this center for the causes, the research, the activities related to children. With this, uh, over to Helen ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jayanta, for few words of highlighting the center and also mentioning the location. And thank you so much for launching it on a very important day when the entire world observes World Children's Day today. As Dr. Jayanta has rightly mentioned, the center is a physical center which has a huge collection of literature, documents, reports, research studies, exclusive collection of documents on children's issues. It has a collection of literature on child abuse, child protection, child labor, and reports of different commissions. So it's a collection of over a period of 35 years, and I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Dr. Jayanta, who has shown keen interest and also providing guidance at every step. He has been also mentioning that we should have a collection of soft copies as well as hard copies for those who are visiting. And this center is located very close to Kanyakumari. It's only 2.5 hours. Now the roads are very good, so 2 hours distance from Kanyakumari. So those who are visiting Kanyakumari also can visit the center. It's located between Madurai and Kanyakumari. So both are historical places, and this is located in a very greenery, which has a variety of flora and fauna right in the campus. And you're most welcome to the center. And once again, I thank Dr. Jayanta, the founder of Global Forum on Sustainable Rural Development. It's again a dream coming true because it was his thought which is brought into shape, and which today we have a physical global resource center for ensuring childhood. To mention a few words about International Day, Children's World, it's actually called World's Children's Day, which was conceived way back in the year 1954. It's basically to generate awareness among the children, the importance of children and their future, and getting together to raise voice on behalf of the children. And also, when the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child came into being in 1989, which we know almost all the countries in the world, they have ratified the convention. Basically, this day is being observed to voice the concerns of children, because we know children are also deprived of their rights, denied of their rights, deprived of a variety of opportunities. So it's basically to get people together, because children are the future of the world, the future of the society. So to ensure their childhood, to ensure that they get their rights, individual nations, as some of the international conventions mentioned very clearly, that children's need are of very urgent and immediate in nature, and we have to have a time-bound action plan to ensure children's rights. I'm once again thanking each and every one of you for taking your time out and joining in this forum on a very important day, and also as Dr. Jayanta mentioned, it's an auspicious day, and this is going to be a day which will be in the history of GFSRD, launched the physical center by its founder. We are extremely thankful once again for Dr. Jayanta. Thank you so much, Dr. Jayanta, for launching this physical center, the Global Resource Center on ensuring childhood, and for a few words of encouragement and appreciation. Thank you so much.
Siddharth?
I'm here.
Yeah. Would you like to highlight something on the issues of children in Afghanistan?
Yes, sir.
Or
Thank you for
even
giving
even
up.
even overall, if you have any thought that how this center can go ahead with activities, any idea that the center should do that? So anything if you have that can also you can suggest us, or even if you think that any organization we should collaborate with them, then ma'am can also do. So though definitely see as having network as well as a experience of working with the International Labour Organization and other organization related to children. But still, if you something if you have in your mind, so over to Siddharth.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for providing the opportunity, and thanks for establishing this resource center. I want to just shortly provide a brief information about the challenges of Afghanistan children's. As you all know better, that recently the limitation of education for female students are very high, and above class 6, and no girls and no female students go to school, which is a big challenge. And there is almost 2 years that the female students can't go to the school. Most of them are in age 13 to age 14, which it means they are under age of 18, and we can call them child, that they are preventing from going to the school. And also male students facing lots of challenges. Most of them can't go to school due to economic problem, and they are helping and supporting their families in providing food items and other necessary. So for this reason they are also can't going to school. And there is also lots of children who are living on the streets, which is a crisis. And most of them are they have financial problem. For this reason they can go to school on time, and they have to find some jobs or in order to work for their families, or some of them do not have families, and there is no support from the government for some for such kind of childs. And they need to provide and afford their by their self the necessary items, foods, shelters, and etc. And also due to some financial problem, most of children's under age of 18 work in challenging environment, which safety is not compliant with the law and regulation, international regulation, because they, as I said before, there is lots of problem, financial problem, that they cannot due to this financial problem, the child are forced and have to work in a challenging environment, with the environmental is not very safe for child. And there is lots of difficult works for children. And also some traditional pupils, coming to the traditional pupil, there is still some pupils which are not allowing their child to go to school, as they believe that the content and material, education material, are not according to the Sharia rules and regulation. In some Islamic people believe that the content and material are not with what Islamic Sharia says on their belief. So for this reason, they are preventing their child from going to school. And also, most households force the child for marriage under age before completing age of 18, which cause they cannot continue their education. So there is still lots of household and families that they are not interested in female girls students and education, and they are forcing them to be married with someone and continue their life without education. Also some male student also cannot continue their education while marrying with some girls below age 18, and they need to work together to build a family, and for that reason they cannot continue their education. Also, in the some rural areas and rural village, there is still no physical school space for schools, and children need to learn on open space both in winter and summer, which is a big challenge for the child, that there is no a very safe and secure place for students, safe and secure schools, which is a challenge and problem for continuing of education. In the meantime, in most and far and rural village, children do not have access to quality education, contents, material. That's why most of them remain illiterate and cannot become a professional person in the future, because there is no, if there is a education center or a school, there is no very lack of quality education. The teachers are not too much professional, and they cannot deliver the materials in a proper way. That's why the children remain illiterate, and they will get frustrated from the education, because when there is no proper syllabus, proper and very good lectures or contents materials, so the student will get distance from the learning. Also, transportation problem is another challenges in the rural areas, where everywhere in the especially in Afghanistan, it is a mountainous country, and there is very large distance between villages. So in each village there is no school and there is no any education center. A student who want to go to school need to go at least 8 to 10 kilometers without a bicycle or without a car or without a vehicle, in order to reach the school. So most of them which are disability problem, physical problem, they cannot continue to the school. So all of these are some challenges which are violated. However, there is lots of other problem which need to be addressed. But this were all from my side, and thank you for providing the opportunity.
Thank you so much, uh, Mr. Shridat, for very clearly mentioning the challenges of children in Afghanistan, particularly focusing on challenges which come in the way of education. You have highlighted the limitation for girl children to go to school, and the economic reasons for male children to go to school. And you have very vividly mentioned about the challenging environment, the conservative ideology which come in the way of encouraging children to participate in education, and also the child marriage which becomes a challenge, then absence of educational infrastructure in place, and also even those who are studying, then they lack quality education because of want of teachers trained in methodology of teaching. We know that it is important to have teaching methodology for different age groups and different classes, to inculcate confidence and interest in children to continue to learn. And also you brought into our mind also the physical features of Afghanistan, a mountainous region with hills and hillocks, which the children may find it when they have to commute to school in difficult terrain. That itself become a big obstacle for them to continue education. And very passionately and very empathetically, we have talked about children with disability to can get their education. Thank you so much for highlighting the challenges and obstacles which come in the way of children to get education in Afghanistan. Over to Dr. Jayanta.
No, we have Bosco from Sri Lanka. Bosco, would you like to share something? After that, I will come to Amit Nasrullah from Bangladesh.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you got, sir. I understood. So here, sir, I am now working as a as a project manager with. So based on that, it means we are here. So we are working with children. So based on that, I can share something. Initially, recently, we had a research about the children in Sri Lanka. So their initial a key issue we identify is most of the children in here in that is a village here around more than 7% of children here they are living with single parents that we found with the recent research. So either with a father or mother or grandmother or relative. It is normally in Sri Lanka in villages. So that is one issue. And the second one is that is a different community. So I think it is okay to mention the community as we are doing identifying some issues. So that is a community that is a key issue. And in plantations that is estate community, Indian origin Tamil people. It means we have. I am also a member of that community. So here we came from India as slaves under British colonial time. So they are in plantation. The key issue is poverty. So because of the poverty, there are the children facing so many problems. It means, in fact, we can't imagine the situation. They have no food. They have the parents. They don't have the proper job. They are working. Still, they are working as like slaves under plantation companies. So they don't have jobs. So because of that, children don't have enough food, enough education facilities. They don't have enough money for stationaries. That is coming under poverty. So the poverty is a key issue, and that is the single mothers. That is family relationship issue. That is second one. The third one is the curriculum. It means Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, that is one of burning issue now, because in Sri Lanka the education there's a good quality the quality education. So there is an exam called grade 5 scholarship exam. So that is a common exam. That exam based on the results of that exam, the children uh, 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 what's that obtain opportunities to go for high schools or scholarships. So now all the parents are pushing grade 5 students to pass the exam morning for the whole year, morning to evening. Every time the children are going for classes. Now it has become a mental health issue for the children. So this is one of an issue. This is we are most of the people are saying that is an education system issue. So that is a key issue now. So these are the key issues now presently. Now I am facing. Now I have identified. For this, some NGOs are working here. They are doing so many assistance for this, especially in upcountry. They are providing free stationery, so additional income support for the poor children. For those kind of things they are doing. So as a solution, but this is not a permanent solution. So what we are suggesting here in Sri Lanka, what we are doing is we are supporting through additional income, creating additional income sources for the poor families. So this is applicable in all countries. If the people are suffering from poverty, so it is not to uh, do development works based on material support. So we have to do this kind of creating additional. It means right based things. So right based things also we can do. If you are going for material supports, then we can support them to create income generations, say additional income sources, saving systems, household money management. For these kind of things we are doing for the poor families, especially in plantations. In Sinhala area, in villages, we are doing this family relationship programs. That is, uh, the key thing is single parent children means the parents are not died, they are separated. So they divorce, they have more than one or two wives, or don't you know, illicit relationship, those kind of things. So there we are doing that. That is second thing. In this exam things, the good example is the famous university in Sri Lanka, Peradeniya University. From the Peradeniya University, one lecturer yesterday, I think yesterday he has released a article about his son. So he has mentioned that he did not force his son to sit for this exam, and he has mentioned so many things regarding this. And he is, as a lecturer, he understood the current the mental health issues of the children. So for these, the solution is we are working on changing the education system in Sri Lanka. We are means here NGOs, social organizations, in some ministers, they are also considering these kind of things. They are working on this to change the education system in Sri Lanka. And other thing also, especially about, if we are talking about youth, I have to add that youth. I think in India, in 18, Indian students are completing their degree before 20. I don't have a clear idea, but I think before 20th they are completing their degree. But in Sri Lanka, we have to wait until 24, 25th age to complete. So this is a key issue in education system. So all these kind of things are now in the consideration and the discussion to change this education system. So I think these are some of the key issues that I have mentioned here. So thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bosco, for highlighting the issues of Sri Lanka. You have again provided how different people living in different areas, geographical areas, have challenges. You have talked about those who are living in seashore, and also those who are in plantations, and the issues of children living with single parents, children who are living with parents who are separated, and therefore the kind of emotional distress also they may undergo, and the kind of distress you have also mentioned, how children are being pressurized to complete their studies with regard to appearing for the competitive examination so that they can clear and get enrolled in high school, and also get the due scholarship. Yes, one could also see across the South Asian region how parents pressurize their children to focus more on education, so they hardly get the enjoyment of childhood. You have very beautifully explained that, and also a kind of embodiment of poverty, illiteracy of parents, unemployment, and also which pushes them in impoverished conditions. And also it is very interesting to note how the NGOs and civil society organizations are responding to this kind of challenges by starting income generation activities, and also providing income support. And you have also mentioned about providing stationery and material. These may be a kind of beginning, but if they could also get expanded, covering more beneficiaries, more and more children could get enrolled in school, retained in school, and complete their education. The wonderful point that you have mentioned about the comparison, because children, if they have started enrolling in school on time, then they complete the higher secondary or +2 by the time they reach 17 years, and they complete the graduation. By 21 years, they complete the graduation, and 23, by attaining 23, they also complete their postgraduate education. That is the situation. So that comparison of education in India, and which age children pass out their graduation, and Sri Lanka, that really gave a very clear picture. Thank you so much. Over to Dr. Jayanta.